Hey guys, welcome to Celebrity Barbershop. We're here in Andino Shopping Center in Zona Rosa of Bogota, Colombia, obviously. Mr. C. Silver Fox. Today we have a special fun day we're going to be doing. We're doing a makeover on one of our clients. We're literally taking him from where he's been. We've been teaching him a lot of stuff. He's just finished up a one-week boot camp. We've been teaching him a ton of stuff about actions and behaviors. Did a little bit of stuff on fashion. But today we've got my fashion consultant and our barber. We're going to be basically tuning him up and bringing him up into the upper tier physically. So I'm going to introduce you to everybody here. So here we've got a Stefan, pro barber. He's going to take care of you when you come to Bogota. Good to see you, dude.
Nice to see you too, man.
So tell me a little tiny bit. I know you've been doing this for a while. Tell me a tiny bit of your story.
Well, I used to doing this like 6 years before. I started in New York. I got my license over there, and now I came here to Bogota, and this is my hometown barbershop, you know. I've been doing this here for 2 years, and if you guys are able to come here, this is your shop, man.
Nice. They do the full meal deal here. You've got these little, like, what's this little space agent device here?
Well, the supplies that we have here, that is vaporize, that has hot vaporize and cold vaporize to open the pores and close the pores. We also have a mask that contains superficial cleaner and a facial massage and capillary massage.
Nice. So basically, when you come here, spend the extra $10 US, get the full meal deal. You'll be here for an hour, you get a full deal. It's totally the way to go. And in case you haven't noticed, because you're not paying attention and you're drinking beer, Stefan speaks perfect English. So when you communicate with your barber and you tell him what you want, you're set.
That's it. That's how it is, man.
So let's introduce you to our client, Leo.
Hey guys. What's up? Should I say something about myself?
Yeah, you probably already met Leo on some of the other stuff. But Leo's been with us for a week. We've done a boot camp, and then now we're doing the physical transformation, trying to get the full package deal. We're here with our fashion consultant, Luisa, as well. And I just didn't really ask her a question and handed her the mic. So we'll try that one more time. So why don't you tell us a tiny little bit about what you do and how you got into doing what you do?
Okay, well, I'm a fashion consultant and I'm a fashion designer also. And well, basically what we are going to do today is take like Leo's style and take him like to what he wants to accomplish, but with like his clothes.
Very cool. Super cool. I think, a lot of guys don't put enough, well, a lot of guys, especially in the West, don't realize that you pay a little tiny bit of money to a fashion consultant and you can totally transform your kind of personal branding, your personal marketing, whether it's at work, with people, in your dating life, even just the way you feel about yourself. Tell me, like, if you can think of one or two stories, just, you don't have to obviously say who it was, but the transformation that it makes when you teach somebody how to stop dressing like a slob and actually start using fashion as a way of... Not you, this was hypothetical. Someone else. This was last month.
Okay.
But the transformation that you can see when somebody starts to dial in their fashion.
Well, we all have a style, but the most common thing is people think they don't. Leo just told me I don't have a style, but we all do. And it has to do with with the message you want to communicate. And people just, they don't, how do you say it? Sorry, I'm...
They don't think about it? It's not important to most people?
They do think about it and they would like to, but they just don't do it because maybe in their work it's going to be like so, I don't know, like, how do you say it?
It's like a confining office environment or something?
Yes, they are going to feel like uncomfortable because people here usually dress like the same,
Okay.
So being different, it's like, oh, people is going to look at me and I feel uncomfortable, so they don't do it, but they really want to. So the last fashion consulting I did was to this guy, and he's really creative. He has a really creative, he wants to have a creative style, but he dressed up like really traditional style. So it was like a huge work with him because he was like, yes, I want to wear that, but I don't know if I can. So it was awesome because it was like taking him like out of the comfort zone and like teaching him how
How to think
How
about
to
it?
express himself?
Yeah, no, it was more like how can he be more creative, like without feeling uncomfortable, you know? So we took his, like the traditional clothes he was wearing and we just add some kind of accessories and kind of things that make him look like more creative, but without making him feel uncomfortable.
Cool. But can I make a personal request? I'd like to see Leo feel really uncomfortable. So whatever he says, I want you to take it up 5 or 10 notches so
God.
we can get him way out of his comfort zone and into the deep water. Sound like a fun plan?
Sure, let's do it.
Cool.
I guess I'm wearing a tutu today.
Under your jeans?
Over,
We
no,
can
over
scrub
the jeans.
that.
No, over the jeans.
Okay, so I'm going to take you outside later and we can talk on the camera and we'll get you started in your little barber thing. So do you have any idea what you're going to do to tackle this guy's mangy mane here?
Basically, I would like to do like skin fade, low fade, doing rounded right here just to like put like a little bit round of this like effect of our head to be rounded, you know. And basically the same here, come over to the side, it will look nice, you know. And the beard maybe just clean a little bit and shape it up.
Okay. I give you full authority to use your creative license. And if Leo has to beat somebody up, I will take all the punches for the team. But please don't make him want to beat somebody up. We're going to leave you guys to have some fun, and we can head outside and grab a coffee, because that's very important to do when your client's getting a haircut.
Yeah, man.
Do you guys want a coffee? I'll bring you one back.
I'm good.
I'm good too, man. Thank you.
Are you sure? Okay. You will notice that now we are fully fueled with a little bit of cafe. So now we can really let the day begin and have some fun. So we're going to wander around the mall a little bit. Leo's in there getting his tune-up done. You've already seen some of that stuff. And we're just going to talk a little bit about guys' fashion. So first off, why don't you tell me, I know we were talking about this earlier off camera. It's really funny how we met, because I went to go meet Leo in a bar, and then you were sitting a couple tables over, and we started talking. And then I told you that you're very beautiful, and then we started talking about fashion. So, tell me now. Land the plane once again. So you were telling me a whole bunch of really fascinating stuff. Like I like fashion, and I know a tiny bit about fashion, but my tiny bit is like, I can copy fashion. That's very different than like creating my own fashion. But you're completely different because you've actually studied this and you actually know what you're talking about, which is totally different than me. So, tell me a little tiny bit. You get a new client, and where do you start with Joe, the new
Okay, so
client?
the first thing to do with a client, it's like have an interview with him to know. So, I mean, you can have like a whole picture of this person. You can know like his lifestyle, what his hobbies, and that gives you like an idea of how he is and his style. I always talk about style. You're gonna see it's really, really important.
Okay. In what way? You mean really important to have Joe's style be his natural personality type? Like the two congruent?
Well,
Or in what sense?
No, I mean, think of style like your last name. It's
Like my
that-
last name.
It's that important. I mean,
It's Clint Style.
no, I mean, I know,
And
I know
you will notice that we
Like a
actually
universe.
copied each other's style without knowing today.
You copied my style.
Yeah, but you
You're
copied
great
mine.
copy- Okay, no. Style is like your last name. It's that important. I mean, I know you're clean, but I need to know you're clean. What? You
Okay.
know? So we have 7 universal styles, and we all fit in one style.
Okay.
As I told you, like before.
So tell me, you were saying that there's 7 universal styles. So what are the 7 universal styles? I'm going to see if you remember
Okay.
each of them.
I do. So we have 3 basic styles. We all fit in one style.
Okay.
Those 3 styles. So we have sporty or natural style, we have traditional style, and we have elegant style.
Sporty, traditional, and elegant.
Yes. And then we have these 4 styles, and you don't necessarily have to fit in one of those styles. You can fit in 1 or 2, or you can have only, I don't know, just sporty, elegant style. And this,
So a sporty, elegant style would be like when you see the girl walk by and she's wearing like Gucci everything, but it's like sport Gucci.
for example, let's talk about men.
Okay.
Like they are wearing like a suit, but with sneakers.
Ah, and
That
you can
would be like-
and you can wear like one of those. It's it would be a fashion brand, but it's made to look like a North Face vest, like under your suit, under your blazer. Do you know what I mean? Like a thermal vest, but it's
Okay.
like, but it's not like. It's by a fashion brand, so it's obviously not made for climbing mountains, but it's made to look similar to like the ones
Okay,
they
yeah.
use like that. Okay, so then you'd combine. Okay, so what would be, so give me a really simple idea of each of those. So what would be traditional, what would be comfortable, and what would be, what was the other one that you said?
Elegant.
Elegant.
Okay. Sporty style is like this kind of guys that they really, what they look is like comfort. You know, they really like to feel comfortable with what they are wearing. So they use like a lot of
Running
jeans
shoes.
and cotton shirts and t-shirts and sneakers. They are really natural. You
Okay.
know, they can use a blazer that they are going to wear it with sneakers or
Okay.
jeans. You know?
Elegant, I'm guessing, is James Bond. More or less.
Well,
No.
yes, but he was also
He never wore sneakers. I haven't
No.
seen him wear sneakers. He somehow runs in those freaking like tuxedo shoes up like the side of crazy shit.
well, elegant and traditional. They are similar, but they are different, and you'll see why. Elegant
So this guy
style-
here, can we get that guy in the clip? Can we get that guy? That guy's comfort, I'm assuming.
He's a sporty guy.
That's a sporty guy?
Yes.
Okay.
he's a sporty
And what about
guy.
these 2 guys walking towards us in the blue and the pink?
Well,
Can
the
we
one
get-
in the
Can we get these 2 guys walking towards us without being too obvious? Okay.
well, the one in the right, he's sporty.
So these 2 guys here, can we get those 2 guys? Which are which?
He's a sporty. He is like sporty, but with a traditional and maybe a little bit creative.
Wow. Interesting. To me, they look the same. So, like, obviously, you know your stuff, which is cool. I obviously have a lot to learn, which is also cool. Okay, so why don't we look at a couple stores? Oh, I cut you off. You were going to talk about the other 4.
Well, I was talking about traditional and elegant. You know, traditional is this kind of man that think about maybe Trevi,
Okay.
you know, or Tommy Hilfiger. They know exactly what they want. They know exactly how the clothes fit to them. You know,
Okay.
so they doesn't need to wear things on to look how they fit. They just know and they go and buy what.
Okay, so
what they
Tommy
want.
Hilfiger, Banana Republic, this would be, okay, that's like when I go shopping at Banana Republic, and I'm just like, I don't combine from different stores. and
It's
shit.
like this. I'm going to look at for an example.
Okay.
Bill Gates. No.
Okay.
Yes, Bill Gates. He's traditional.
Traditional. So he's got like the button-up shirt with a
Yes,
cardigan
there's,
vest or whatever on top, simple dress pants and shoes.
Yes.
Nothing
Maybe
nothing overly
if you
sexy.
go to his wardrobe, you're going to find he has like 3 blue pants, 3 beige pants, and they are exactly the same because they know I mean,
They know he knows what he likes and he likes
yes,
it.
and he knows how those pants fit. So he just don't need to wear them on to know if he like them or not. He just knows.
So
you know?
funny. That's exactly why I shop at Banana Republic. Because it makes it so easy.
And an elegant style would be like similar to traditional, but more
Up a notch.
Huh?
Up a notch? Like,
like modern style, you know.
so then you'd be
Like,
more into like the funkier suits that you could wear to work with the creative sock color and spicing it up with a.
Well, that's more like creative style.
And then so the first three we have traditional, comfort, and sporty.
Traditional, elegant, and traditional, elegant,
Sporty?
and sporty. Yeah.
Traditional, elegant, and sporty. And what are the four other ones that you mentioned? Creative.
Okay, so we have creative style. Are like those kind of guys who like to make, for example, mix and match. You know, like stripes with dots, or they have these colored socks with floral bullshit. You know. And
So they'll do something that looks like they're breaking a rule, but they do it in a way that makes it look really fucking cool.
Yes.
Yeah. I'd love to be one of those guys. It's clearly not me.
I
I could train with you for weeks. You could teach me how to be that guy.
Well, maybe
Please.
you could.
Okay, so
And,
that's creative.
That's like the creative, and they like full color. You know, like they're always using like vibrant colors, and they're really
Gay.
like.
So they're gay.
Come on.
I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. We need to get a little bit of controversial stuff going.
It's okay.
I'm trying to get a fight. Okay, so we've got creative, and then what are the other three?
Okay, so we got dramatic style. It's like
I like that style.
you don't even
I like
know
the
what-
sound of that style.
You like the sound of that style.
I like romance.
Okay, it's a dramatic style. We can. Do you know Karl Lagerfeld?
No,
Okay. So,
he's a very romantic guy.
no, he was a designer.
Did he have a
It's
lot of
like-
romance
it's
in his
like-
life?
It's like a theatrical style, you know. They use like velvet and all these kind of
Oh, maybe I-
unusual materials.
Maybe I don't like that style anymore. Now you're gonna dress me in a velvet suit. That doesn't sound romantic at all. And it's hot out here.
It's a great style, actually. If you know how to use it, it's a great style.
Okay.
So it's, I mean, they, for example, they.
So, in your opinion, if a guy dresses in the romantic style, does it mean that he automatically has lots of romance in his life?
Well, he's going. If you dress like a romantic, you may have like some sensibility. He's not going to be mean.
Okay. So you're not gonna have like. So if you teach a guy to dress romantically, he's not gonna have like women running up to him begging him to kiss them whenever he goes in public.
Well, not because
Could happen,
well, could happen, but.
but
I don't
no
think so.
guarantees. No money back guarantees.
No guarantees.
Okay.
But we have, I mean, you're talking about romantic, and romantic is another style. It's different from dramatic style. So dramatic style would be more theatrical, you know, like velvet or dark and solid colors, you know, like, or, I don't know, this gothic style. It's a dramatic style. you know?
Okay.
So, but we have like a different, how would you say? I mean, we don't have just one style. So we are always going to have some combinations, some dramatic with, I don't know, maybe romantic style. So
All this makes me feel very boring. I have coffee drinking style, but I matched it to my shoes.
you have
I knew I was going to be drinking a coffee, so I wore my brown shoes.
But I think you're more like a sporty guy.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Do you
what,
think I'm a sporty?
Well, you're sporty, but because you're like here in vacation, I don't know. But I don't know how you dress up for a meeting, for example.
This is generally part of my wardrobe.
That's
The branding may change, but this is an accessory. I use coffee as an accessory. But
that doesn't tell me anything. I mean,
it tells you that I'm addicted to caffeine.
Well,
It's like the
I
most
have
important
this
part.
dramatic and creative style, and I also like coffee, so it doesn't tell me anything about you.
Interesting. So let's look at it. So then let's come and look at a couple places here. So we can wander around and look. So you said already this particular store is. See, this is what I was saying. Like as far as when you see stuff that's made to look like you're going to go climb a mountain, but clearly it's a fashion brand. My
Well, this is traditional that also it can be sporty too.
So this is a traditional guy. This is Bill Gates trying to look sporty. This is exactly what this is.
Well, I don't know
Hey,
if
Bill.
Bill gets to use like
Pink.
that.
He would use the same pants.
No, the pink. But I
This
don't
is
know
more
if
Bill
he-
Gates style with
Oh, yeah.
tan pants or something.
Well,
Okay.
Without folded
Without
pants? Oh, no, without.
Take it easy. Ay,
That's such
ay,
a
ay.
dirty mind.
Tranquila, tranquila.
Yeah, such a dirty mind. No, it's without folded pants. You know, this is like a trend, but not all guys like to use like folded.
Personally,
pants.
I don't like. For me, I don't like the pants like here showing leg. Like okay, honestly, like the suit pants when they're like 3 inches too short. Oh, that would drive me bonkers. At least it looks like
It looks great.
focused, like intentional, like details. Do you know what I mean? Like this is small things I think for guys to know. Like clip your freaking fingernails. You know what I mean?
Show me your nails.
No, don't look. I was
not.
talking to you. No, I'm kidding. No,
I was
like
talking about other guys.
yes,
not me.
not me. Do as I say, not as I do. But guys usually don't think about like tiny little details. Like for example, get your shoes clean. Here in Bogota, it's amazing because you're walking down the street and there's like 20 guys who will ask you, "Can I clean your shoes for $5 or something?" Right?
Yes.
But get your shoes clean. Like it actually is a big deal.
Well, it is.
And like
I
clip
mean,
your fingernails. Stop looking. And your toenails.
Well,
Like go get a manicure and a pedicure. It costs like I don't know, $30 or something like that. But like women actually notice that. Like in your opinion, I think women notice that. What do you think?
well, women are going to notice
The
everything.
little tiny
you know?
details.
Yes, there are facts and details, you know, but there are also men that really see those details too. For example,
Often they are gay.
well, maybe.
But it is
But
why
come on,
gay men,
if you-
like
if you-
often, if you look at
if
the
you're going to-
stereotype, they have very good fashion because they are, again, the femininity, they're very focused on the little tiny details and accessories and all the things that
Yes,
make the
but-
bigger picture.
Yeah, but
It's not a bad thing.
Think about this. You are going to apply for a job, and you go to an interview, and they need you to look like, I don't know, like
Like a business guy or like
Yes.
a
Well, they are
financial
going to
advisor or
look-
whatever.
they are going to look everything. That's why I told you that style is really important. And fingers, and no, not fingers, nails are also.
Yeah, if you have funny looking fingers, you're fine. Don't worry about it. Your fingers are fine. Focus on your nails. You don't need to go get finger surgery.
Okay, no.
Yes,
But they're-
how are yours? Okay, good. You can stay as our photographer.
But
Don't worry, he's got good nails. I just checked.
maybe you should ask him where does he.
Where he's. Yes, I didn't clip mine today. I will preface this by
Can we
that.
make like a zoom to to his nails?
A zoom in. You'll notice now Clint's like hiding.
Okay, no. But I think that all these kind of details are part of your style.
See,
I mean,
we have this-
You're a relaxed person, so maybe you don't think about these things. You
But
know,
I think you still, even if you want
You
to wear
should.
clothes like this, right? Like, okay, I just ran out of my cologne, so I'm not wearing cologne. But always cologne, always fingernails, always have a good haircut, basic hygiene. Like, these are super important things. The thing is, in the West, we have this myth. Like, when I say the West, Canada, the US, maybe Europe, right? Australia. We have this myth. We like to believe that it's what's inside that counts. So for a woman going to a job interview, it's what's inside that counts. So the smartest woman that's best for the job should get the job. This is what we think, okay? It's a theory, right? It's theoretical. The same with a guy. Like, oh, well, if I'm dating her, she should like me for who I am, regardless of I'm wearing funny looking shoes that have never been cleaned, right? But it's absurd because that's one half of the story, like it's one side of the coin that's good and important. You should have like a good inner person. but it's only half of it. The other half is you're going to this job interview at this big corporation. They want their people to look a certain way, and you sit down looking like a loser. They don't even give you the time of day because you look like a loser. And you go and you hit on this girl at a bar, and you have bad hygiene, so you don't smell good. She doesn't even get to discover you that you're the best guy she's ever met. She just, okay, he's out. Like, that's it. It's over, right? And we do that in like the first, I don't know, like 2 minutes or something, minute. You've kind of like compartmentalized who this person is. And if a woman, you do that in like, you've looked at his toenails, his shoes, his socks, his fingers, his like all this stuff, like in 2 minutes, you've already kind of got an idea of, this guy seems really nice, but he's clearly doesn't think highly of himself. I would never date a guy like this. Or in a job interview setting, wow, he's got great stuff on his sheet, but look, he doesn't even wear a suit that fits him properly. Like, I could never have this guy working for me.
Okay, well, as you said, it's just half of the story, you know? But that story needs to be told with your image.
Totally
you know?
agree.
So
It's marketing. It's like saying Starbucks should just have good coffee and everyone will just drink it. It's like, well, if that worked, they wouldn't be spending like hundreds of millions of dollars a year on like which shade of green do we use, what size of font on our cups, and like all the ads and the branding and stuff. It's branding, you know?
Yes, but it's not also branding. It's like your, I don't know, as I told you, style is, it's not only, I mean, it's not only your lifestyle, it's not only your hobbies, it's the way you talk, the way you move, the way you interact with people. The style is has to do with your values, your principles. It has to do with everything.
It's
you know?
really just a language more than anything
Yes.
else. It's like how you are literally communicating your values, your thoughts, your beliefs, what you like, how you're communicating it out of you,
Well,
visually.
It's like telling the people who you are, you know, but with your clothes. So it's really important. You know?
Cool. Let's see if we can find another store that we can talk about something in. Maybe this one will let us walk inside.
So, you know, romantic style is think about dandy style. more or less.
About which? Gandhi?
Dandy style.
Dandy.
Have you seen a dandy?
No.
Fuck.
What's a dandy?
I'll show you.
Did you just say fuck? I don't think I've heard you swear yet.
Yes, I did.
That was an important moment. No, I think you should say it again.
Fuck.
Oh my god, I love it.
Maybe you just haven't like realized that that's your real style, and that's what happened with people. You know, sometimes people just go and they see this mannequin and they are like, okay, it looks great, and they buy it because they think they are going to look.
The suit or the mannequin?
Not the suit, the mannequin.
Okay. How he's gonna buy this
maybe-
mannequin?
maybe-
He's fucking hot. I want that mannequin in my room.
Maybe I don't know. you can.
Are you
can
saying you like
decorate
this
your-
mannequin? Is it
I'm
just because
talking
he's
about
black?
the suit. Come on. So maybe they buy this.
You do notice this
clothes.
is the only mannequin with a face. That's probably why you like that one. The rest have their heads chopped off.
Maybe I like it because it has like a head but no face.
It actually looks like a human being. I like that shirt though, honestly.
So people go to shop and they say like, okay, I like that outfit, and they buy it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not necessarily their style. I mean, it looks great on the mannequin, but not great on them, and they feel.
And it doesn't feel
uncomfortable.
natural for them when they're wearing that
Yes,
mannequin outfit.
because it was okay in the mannequin, but it's not their style, so they're going to start to feel really uncomfortable. So you have like a lot of people doing like buying and buying and buying things they are not going to use.
I think that's the difference between having a
So-
coach and not having a coach. Because
Yeah.
if you have a fashion coach or consultant, then you can actually discover more about who you are, and you're less reliant on, in this case, the people that work here that put this on the mannequin, right?
Well, one
I
of-
would walk in here and go like, that looks great on the mannequin, and buy it. And then I would probably actually wear that, but it's like mannequin copying fashion. It's very different than understanding how to like actually put shit together yourself.
Yes. You know, fashion consultant, one of the things we do is just teaching people how to do smart shopping. You know, so they are not spending like a lot of money in things they are not going to use. You know, so
That's a really good point. No, I'm serious, because I was going to say, like, a lot of people's objection to getting a coach in general in whatever area of your life. If you're going to go to the gym, if you want to get better with money, if you want to get better with fashion, with people, whatever it is, a lot of people's objection would be, I don't want to spend X number of dollars. But a lot of times I look at it and I go, well, you're spending that money anyway. Because
You're-
like in your example,
you're investing in yourself. You know, it's a long-term invest. You know,
but
like-
on top of that, even if you forget that and you just look at dollars, like you just said, let's say it's going to cost $2,000 for me to train with you for X number of time and get a thing together, right? I'm just pulled that number out of my head. But that amount of money I'm going to waste over the next 2 years on this blazer that I'm never really going to wear because it's not my style, and those shoes that I got impulsively but I didn't really wear, or whatever. You're going to waste a lot, or just simply spending more money because I got that blazer here, brand name, instead of there that you know about, that's the exact same thing without a tag on it. And it could have saved $200 right there. Like, my thinking often is that when you get a coach, you do pay on the front end, but you not only do you get much more gains over the long term, but also you get an immediate benefit of savings in other areas if you're actually going to look at it. Like, for example, all these impulsive buys that you would have made, you didn't make. So the money that you didn't waste on this, you gave to a coach, and you probably don't even end up coming out upside down anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And on top of that, you're going to look good, and you're going to get a better job, and you're going to be able to make more money. So it's all good.
You'll have more opportunities. So
Totally. I totally agree.
So they're like creative too, but
Wow, that's crazy. So like if you take women that are
you
used
should
to
try it.
Yeah, I should. If you take women that are used to that kind of fashion, like in Italy or wherever, this is in Florence, and then they move to the US or Canada and they see guys that are only comfortable ever, they must be like, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like even in Colombia, here in Bogota, you'll see the guys dressed at a much higher level than like maybe in Cartagena, or especially in my country. Like if you go to Canada or parts of the US, and then you compare it to just the average guys you see walking by here, they're all dressed really quite well here. My city, not so much.
Well,
We actually, somebody told me we got an award.
let's define good dressing.
Well, looking much more presentable and much more, putting more thought into it. So my country puts a lot of value on comfort and being yourself. Okay, just be yourself. But that doesn't mean that means you just get up and you grab something off the floor and something off the floor and go out.
But I think it's like,
You would never do that in Colombia. That's like,
well, yeah, there are people that they do that.
yeah, but they would probably live in like a very low class barrio. You would not find people in Zona Rosa like going here right now today. Like we won't see a single person like that. But if we were in Canada, we would see every single person like that.
Well, maybe they are just looking for comfort, you know?
Pretty much.
Colombian people is, well, we are a little bit vain.
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Okay, we're a little bit vain. So,
But that's not necessarily a bad thing.
well, yes, it has to do. I mean,
It's a balance. Like I think to say you're extremely vain, okay, is a bad thing. But to say then you're the extreme opposite, let's say you have no vanity at all, well, that's not necessarily better than being super vain. Like the ideal would be
I
to
think
have the
that's-
balance in the middle.
well, yes, it has to be a balance there. I mean,
Totally.
Um,
The problem in the West is that we just have the one side of the coin. It's what's inside that counts. She should love me for me, that thinking. They should hire me for me. It's like, no. That's only one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is if you think that you're incredible, you
should,
should
but
look
if
fucking
you-
incredible.
They should, but if you don't communicate that message, they are not going to see it. You know,
Exactly.
Like, fashion consulting is about helping people to be visible. You know, like go and tell them who you are and why are you like the right guy for that job. And or maybe I don't know, just go and tell that girl, why are you like the right guy for her, you know? But if she doesn't see it, and if she doesn't like it, or if they don't like it,
If they don't see it.
if they don't see it, they are not going to hire you, or she's not going to look at you because
think
she's not seeing it, you know?
It
There's
also
a-
it communicates what you think of yourself too. Like, you know, if you're only willing to spend $10 on what you're wearing, your whole outfit today, and you don't do your hair and you don't like wash your face and you didn't brush your teeth today and you didn't clip your nails, whatever, like what does that say about how you think of who you are as a person? You know, like if you think that you're shit and then you dress and take care of yourself like shit, and then when you meet someone else for a job or to date, they're gonna think that probably you're shit because that's what you think, right?
Yeah.
And so I think, you know, I'm not really into luxury brands and that kind of stuff because I don't see the point of advertising for Gucci or what have you, or spending the money. But so I wouldn't take it to that level, but there's like this in-between level where it's like if you think that you're really an incredible person, spend that $50 on a haircut. You know, like you deserve it, you know, like get a pair of shoes that fit you and a suit that fits you or whatever it is, because you are actually communicating that, not in an arrogant, vain way, but you're communicating, hey, I got a hell of a lot of value and I take care of myself. The same as if you have a Ferrari. You don't like just leave your Ferrari out in the street to get rusted. Like you keep it clean and take care of it and be careful where you park it and stuff, because you're like, oh my God, this is a Ferrari, you know? I think it's not a bad thing when you take care of yourself in the same way. And you communicate that to people too, that you think highly of yourself, therefore they think highly of you too, until you do something really stupid and then they don't think highly of you. Theoretically, I've never had that happen to me personally, but I've read about a story on YouTube.
You know, there is like a really interesting study, and it's not a study, it's a TED Talk. And this woman, she talks about like three kind of persons. So we process like the information in three ways. I mean, there are three kind of people. So we have lookers, listeners, and touchers. And
I think I'm kind of a toucher. Do you think I'm a toucher?
it's not that kind of toucher.
So I'm not romantic and I'm not a toucher.
You have such a dirty man, and
I have some
I'm
touchiness in me.
scared. Okay, no. So
I'm a romantic toucher.
Please not. It's how do you say it? It would be like scary combination. Okay, so we have these three type of person: lookers, listeners, and touchers. So lookers, they process like the information in visually, you know. Listeners, they process information by what they hear. And touchers, well, they are more manual, not that kind of toucher.
I notice now she's stepped away 1 foot further away from me, and now she's like watching both my hands at all times. I have no idea why.
Come on.
Oh, I touched.
Huh?
I touched. No, so
So-
you were saying, so touchers are more manual in the way that they interact with the world,
Yes.
and
And I don't
listeners,
know.
we don't need to listen about those guys.
I think that maybe people that ese ruido te molesta, ese ruido, nos corremos, ahí. So I think that maybe when you're a looker, you know, they are really visual, so they take care of the image because it's really important for them to look good. So maybe these people, they just don't, you know, like
Well,
invest in their self.
It's an
Really?
irony because a lot of the times, like a lot of the guys that we talk to, say from the West, they'll be in this fantasy land where guys are much more visual than women. Masculine guys are more visual than feminine women, right? And so guys will look at women and they will look at like the way she walks or her hair or her feet or whatever their things are, right? And they'll say like, oh, I would only date a woman that looks like that or that or that because she's putting in a lot of effort and she looks really good, right? but then they won't bother with anything with themselves. So then it'll be like, okay, hang on a second. You're sitting on the couch eating potato chips all day in your jogging pants. Then you walk out into the world. And then you want to date a woman that like is normally, like we showed the pictures on the phone there, and she's normally in that world. She never interacts with Bubba sitting on his couch eating potato chips. Like they're in different worlds. And in the West, we like to believe that everybody's equal and we all live in the same world. But in a country like Colombia, you guys realize there's different social levels, and people rarely interact across social levels. So it's maybe like one down or something, but it's rare that somebody at a very low level will be hanging out with people at a very high level. It's just, there's kind of barriers, obstacles to that. And one of them is fashion. Like if you show up at a party and you're obviously dressed like at a low level, and everybody else is like, in Mexico you'd say fresas, like high society, they're all gonna be like, who the fuck invited the homeless person? Or Canadian. Who the hell invited the Canadian homeless person?
Okay, yes, I understand.
So it's important to kind of go like, if you want to live in a certain world or move in a certain world, you kind of have to make sure that it's congruent, that you to some degree fit into that world. A little bit. Like if I really wanted to be, I'm super attracted to very, very, very sporty, marathon running women that are always in the gym and wearing fashion, like workout clothes.
Okay.
And I'm in a suit all the time. We're gonna like naturally not jive. Like I should probably, if I was really attracted to that type of woman, I should probably start going to a gym, buy a pair of running shoes. Like probably when we start talking, she's gonna be like, hey, I really like you. Let's go for a run together. Why don't we go for a hike? Like she's gonna want to do something sporty, and the guy in the suit is gonna be like, why don't we go to like a high society club? And she's gonna be like, I don't do that shit. I go running in my off time, and I like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's just obviously about finding out about who you are, and then also finding out about the type of world that you want to occupy, whether that's in dating life or in a job. If you want to work at like a very high level of a big bank, you gotta get rid of your jogging pants. You start going to job interviews in a suit. Like, it's just understanding what you want to fit in with too.
It's about finding what you want to achieve, and then taking your style and, I don't know, focusing to what you want to achieve.
When you recognize that there's something in your life that's not working, whether it's a job or your dating life, maybe your health life or something, you say, okay, I don't like this. I want to get a better job. Okay, if you're working, let's say you're working at the front of the bank, and one day you decide, hey, you know what? I want to be working like higher level in the corporate part of the bank. Okay, well, you need to upgrade you. So like, you need to upgrade your skills, take some courses or something. You need to upgrade your fashion. You need to upgrade your look. You need to upgrade the whole package.
But
And the same with dating. Like if you're always dating like real losers, and then one day you're like, hey, you know what? I'd like to be dating guys or women that are kind of assuming, I guess, depending on your sexual preference. But I mean, because this will be common too. A guy will be like, hey, I don't like that I'm dating women that are like very common, and I don't like them. I'm just dating them because I don't have anybody else to date. And then he's like, I want to start dating more beautiful women, or like higher society women or something, right? Well then, yeah, you don't have to take any courses per se, maybe, but you definitely need to work on yourself and probably get a better haircut, get some shoes, get some fashion
We're talking about organizations and for example, you can have like all the skills, there are people that has like a lot of skills to do the job, but they don't look like if they have those skills, so for example, let's take it to another example. You want to work as creative in, I don't know,
doing
advertising.
marketing at a high level.
Yes, and you go to the interview with this boring suit you cold.
Yeah, the gray suit. Don't
And,
wear that gray suit that we saw back there. If you're going to a job interview, do not wear something like that.
Okay, and you're like, okay, I'm too creative. I mean, you can be creative, but you're not.
It's incongruent because the person interviewing you goes, I see somebody boring. You're telling me you're creative. I've got all this
And maybe
paper
you
on your
are.
resume
Maybe you're
that says
really
you're certified
creative.
creative.
Maybe
but you're
you're
boring as
really
fuck.
Creative, but you're not just communicating. So they are going to say like, okay, you're not that creative at all because I have interviewed like 20 guys and they just look the same as you.
And I think
you
it's
know?
the same. It comes across the same in, like, let's say a much more informal interview between a man and a woman when you meet. You could say like, I'm really successful in business, or you could say I'm really confident, or you could say I'm really outgoing, or you could say I love people, or whatever, I love kids, right? But if you're bullshitting, and so you're saying like, I'm a super confident guy, but your body language and your fashion and your style communicates, I'm terrified of people noticing me. I try and just wear clothes that'll blend in the background and nobody sees me. Well, then she's going to ignore your words, and she's going to focus on the data of what she sees.
Yes,
Because it speaks
we are-
louder than your words.
We are visual.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought this woman I was talking about, the TED Talk speech, she told that like, I don't know, like 70% of society we are like visual, so we just process information for what we see. You know? So we are not, we don't care like about what, I mean, I don't care about what you are going to say. You just, I don't know, you're just talking with what you have on.
I think if you take your image and you take your behaviors, and that's like 99.8% of the interaction. And then you have like 0.01% is what you said. Do you know what I mean? Or it's like where you actually studied and have like the degree for it
It's
and on the
not
paper.
what you say, but like the how you say it, you know?
Yeah.
There are people that talk like, you know, like they are really, and there are people that talk so confident and talk with hands and they just communicate different things, you know?
Makes me think of a friend of mine that when you're in a public space and he sees someone he thinks you might be attracted to, he would actually say, oh, go over there. She's like over there. Tusk. Cool. That's awesome. Let's see. Anything else to say about that? You're going to go check
should
on Leo
go.
now. Nope, he's not bald yet. I still think that would be so funny. I mean, even just for the video. Like, just shave it off. Give me the razor.
That would be,
So that's the thing, like you can get lucky. You can.
Ooh. What's your take on your new do?
I like it.
It's funny because there wasn't much to work with, but it actually looks quite a bit different, like a lot different. You got rid of
we
the
should
little
have
speed
to
bump.
take like a photo before and
Yeah, did you?
after.
I wonder how
We got some good video. He took like a
he got a fairly good video. You've been trying to keep him away from your beard. I see that. Every time he goes near there, do you slap him? I can see it, Stefan. No, get away.
Now he has a
Pinche baboso.
I mean, do you guys want to wait for him to do the beard? It's going to be probably another like 20 minutes. Or we can, the beard's good enough, maybe. I don't know, whatever you guys want.
What do you think? You want to attack the beard? Or you?
Maybe just clean a little bit and shape it up.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
If it's good with you guys for time.
Yeah. We're keeping busy. We're just wandering around. Come back and check on you. Go into a couple different stores.
You guys
And
want to pick out some stuff from Arturo Cali for me?
no, she's better than me. So we won't be taking you to copy mannequins. She'll actually like
We
show
can
you
do-
how to
we
dress
can do both.
properly.
He can choose an outfit for you, and then I'll choose an outfit
And then
for
she'll
you, and then
criticize
we'll
what I
compare.
chose. So she'll be like, yeah, go ahead, and then I'll choose it. And she'll be like, now this is exactly what I would advise clients to not do. Basically, it's my humbling today. Cool. We're gonna wander around then. Yeah, no worries. Looking good. Seriously, doing a good job. Looks good. He created 2 more, but now it's all symmetrical. And it's interesting. And I like the gang thing that you put in the back. I don't know what gang that is, but it's badass.